guys, little Aussie Mel here doing my week 34 post of VSG update. So my highest ever weight was 105 kilos or 231 pounds. My pre-op diet starting weight was 97.4 kilos or 214 pounds. This morning I weighed in at 70.6 kilos or 155.3 pounds, which is a 0.8 of a kilo or 1.7 pound gain for the week. So that's not good. Back in the 70s. So why have I had a gain? Well, interestingly, I decided that over the weekend to do a bit of a check on my food consumption because I haven't really tracked in a very long time, and every now and then I would track for a day just to see how I was going and to make sure that I was still getting around the 900 calories a day that I was aiming for. And so every now and then, yeah, I'd do a tracking day in MyFitnessPal and I'd be somewhere around the 900 mark, so I'd think, yeah, that would be fine. But then it kind of occurred to me that when I am tracking for the day and I'm putting everything in as I'm eating it or just after I've eaten it or beforehand or whatever, I tend to be better with my food. So I tend to not eat as much, or I'm just sort of, I've got that running tally of where I'm at for the day and really aware of what I'm eating. So I did a bit of a test. So I did a day of tracking in MyFitnessPal, and then on another day I just jotted everything down on a scrap of paper on the kitchen bench every time I ate something, and just did what I would normally do. And then at the end of the day I put it all into MyFitnessPal, and the calorie total for the day when I did it that way was 1,300 calories. So, and I mean, I hadn't eaten anything bad. It was all yogurt, cheese, nuts, fruit, like all healthy food, but obviously just too much of it. So I'm pretty sure that's why I've been hovering around this 70 mark for so long and not really dropping down, because, you know, in the days before VSG, if I went on a diet, it would usually involve consuming somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 calories for the day, and I used to get really frustrated with that because I just wouldn't lose weight. I'd lose a little bit, and then the next week it'd be back on, and then some, and it just used to then send me off into like the forget it land where, like, what's the point, because dieting doesn't work for me. So obviously I really need to start tracking every day again, because when I was consistently losing weight, I was tracking every day. So while I don't really like, you know, being strict on counting calories, obviously that's what I need to do, at least again for a little while, to get to sort of pull back the amount of food that I'm eating. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll give that a go this week and see if that makes a difference on the scale next week. So I forgot to mention in last week's video that I had my 6-month check-in with the dietitian and the surgeon. Even though I'm like well past 6 months, it was a little bit late coming. So if you're friends with me on Facebook, you would have seen I put up a photo of like when I was at the dietitian's. She got me to put on a fat suit. It was like a vest with all this rubber sort of attached to it, like to look like a big fat stomach, and it weighed 19 kilos, and it was so heavy. I couldn't believe how heavy it was to put that on, and the weight on my shoulders, and I felt like I had to kind of, you know, support the lower belly of it with my hands to just not be pulling on my back so much. And I mean, I've lost nearly 2 of those, so to think that I was carrying one of those around my stomach and then another one sort of probably all around my legs and my butt and everything, I mean, I can really feel it. I feel lighter. I really do feel lighter. So but it was just great to see that. So I did put a photo on Facebook, so go and check that out. I was going to say, I'll tack it on the end of this video, but I probably won't. I'll see how busy I am today if I end up doing that or not. And so then straight after that I went to see my surgeon, and yeah, and that was really great. She said she was really pleased. She said like she wanted me to get to 70 kilos, which I'm at, and I mean that's like, she said 70 kilos, she in her mind is losing 100% of the weight that I had to lose. So she said, you know, by the surgery is a success if you lose 70% of your excess weight at the 1 year post-op mark. So she's like, you've done, she said, she said, that tells me that you haven't just let your sleeve do the work for you. You've actually been proactive about making good lifestyle changes and all that sort of thing. So that was like really nice to hear. I mean, I know I don't have as much weight to lose as other people, so it's quite understandable that I would reach that kind of point earlier than expected. But still, I think it's nice to actually like go in for a follow-up appointment and be excited about getting on the scales to show them how well you've done. She asked if she could have a look at my skin, excess skin and that on my stomach while I was there, so I showed her that, and she said, look, it's you don't look any different to like a lot of women who've had babies and have had a lot of you know, trauma to the skin over that. I don't really think I'll end up with much loose skin on my stomach. I mean, there will be a bit, but I don't think it will be too drastic. The main thing I'm concerned about is my arms, and yeah, and she said she'd be happy to give me a referral for a consult with a plastic surgeon to just talk about that. But anyway, I mean, I can't afford that at the moment, but it is something that I would consider doing down the track. What else? Yeah, in one of my earlier videos, it was a while ago. Like it might have been when I was around 3 months post-op, I think, so like 3 or 4 months ago. And I put a link. I talked about a self-esteem quiz that my counsellor had given me to do, and when I did the quiz back then, I scored in like the worst category. Like it was severely low self-esteem or something like that. And yeah, so I was talking to someone about self-esteem recently, and I sent them the link to this quiz, and I thought, oh, I should do that again actually and see where I compare. And yeah, and my result was totally different. I scored like I forget what the category was called, but like the lowest one, like I was only just 1 point above, like having a healthy self-esteem. It was only like a slightly low, you know, a slightly, you know what I'm trying to say. It was just in that, it was like barely into that first category, so 1 or 2 answers different, and I would have been classed as not having a low self-esteem. So, so that was really interesting, and I think the reason for that, to be honest, is that one of the main things that contributed that for me was worrying about what other people thought and making decisions in my life based on that fear. And that's something I've definitely changed with the confidence I've got from losing weight, is that I just don't care anymore. I mean, that might sound really self-centered to say, well, I just don't care what you think, but and some people have kind of commented to me that they think that is a selfish point of view, to be like, well, I just don't care what you think. I mean, I do care what people think, but I'm not going to let that rule my life anymore. I might take their opinion on board, but I'm going to make decisions in my life that are good for me. So, and that can be hard for people to understand when they're used to you maybe putting yourself second. So, But anyway, I'll put the link to that quiz below, because if you didn't see that earlier video, you might be interested to do the test. And if you if you remember doing the test back then, you might be interested to do it again and to see how life has changed for you along this journey. And finally, I just want to talk about Wonder Sleeves Down Under, Sydney Meet and Greet. So we've had heaps of interest in the event, so we're definitely going ahead with the cruise. So now when you go online to register for the event, you actually tick yes. I mean, the cruise part of the event isn't compulsory. You can just come along. We're going to the Argyle Rocks Hotel from 6 p.m. on the Friday the 10th of October, and we'll probably hang out there for 2.5 hours, and then everyone who's elected to go on the cruise can then head off and do a 3-hour cruise around Sydney Harbour. So that'll be from 8:30 to 11:30. And the boat that I've got in mind looks awesome for parties. We're just going to have like a cocktail function. There'll be a bar, cash bar to buy your own drinks. We'll have hors d'oeuvres and things like that for, suitable for weight loss surgery patients. And partners are welcome. I think it's going to be an awesome, awesome night. So at the moment, the event will probably be sold out at about 100 tickets. I've had more than 100 people register their interest in the event, and I've sent everyone out requests for commitment to the event by purchasing their tickets. Tickets aren't refundable unless for some reason we don't go ahead with the cruise, then all money will be refunded. But yeah, so I guess my point is, if you're thinking about it, just get it booked. Do your registration online. I'll send you the invoice straight away for your tickets, and buy your tickets, because I know you'll be disappointed if you miss out. And I mean, I know some of the people who've registered probably won't go through, but I'm getting new registrations in every day. So make it happen, get your tickets, book your flights and your accommodation. I do have a Facebook group called Wonder Sleeves Down Under, so I'm trying to add everybody to that group as they register, just so people can sort of post in there if they're looking for a roomie for the weekend, or everyone's kind of talking about where to stay, because people are sort of wanting to stay in the same place, and then a good spot to chat about any other activities you might want to do while you're in Sydney for the weekend. Like, I know a couple of girls are going to do the Harbour Bridge climb, and yeah, there's heaps of awesome stuff to do in Sydney while you're there. So message me if you haven't been added to the Wonder Sleeves Down Under Facebook group and you want to be. Look it up. I can't remember if it's a closed group or not. Anyway, yeah, let me know and I'll add you in if I haven't already. And if you've got any questions about the cruise, let me know. Tickets are $65 for the cruise, so that includes the cruise and the food, but no drinks, so that's extra. Okay, wondersleevesdownunder.com if you want to go to the website. Okay, have a wonderful week, guys, and I will see you next week, hopefully with a loss and a sturdy week of tracking my food. Okay, bye.